Hi, this is Karen at Snickerdoodle Designs. Today we're going to look at typing text on a path in Photoshop. I have been asked by several of you to write a tutorial on how to do this, and I think you're going to be really surprised at how easy it is. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I'm working in Photoshop Creative Cloud 2014. I've worked in previous versions of Photoshop, and this technique works pretty much the same way in all of the versions I've worked in. So first of all, we want to create a blank layer. I've actually already done that. There's a blank layer above my document, and the reason we do that is because we're going to create a shape and we want that on its own layer. To do that, I will grab the ellipse tool, click on my document. I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and that will draw a perfect circle for me, and that looks about right. Now what we need to do is select that circle, and we can do that in one of two ways. We can come down to the bottom of the Paths panel, click on this third icon over the dotted line around the circle, and click on that, and it will load the path as a selection. You can see it's a selection because it has marching ants around it. Alternatively, we could have hit Control and clicked on the thumbnail of the shape, and that would have done the same thing. If you don't see your Paths panel open, just come up to Window and Paths, and that will open that panel for you. You can see when we created this shape that Photoshop added a shape path right here for us, and that's what we're going to want to turn into our work path. We do that by making sure that's active and clicking on the fourth icon over in the bottom of the Paths panel, and by doing that, clicking on that, it will create a work path for us, and that's what we're going to type on. You can see now that selection that was indicated by marching ants has been replaced by a line with some little markings around it. Those are called anchor points. We don't need to pay attention to those today. I'm just letting you know that's what those are. Let's go ahead and put another blank layer above our shape layer and grab our text tool. We want the horizontal type. We can go ahead and make whatever font selections or type selections we want up here, the font, the size, all those things, the color. I'm going to leave them just as they are right now. You can see when I move my cursor over my document, you have the normal type cursor. But as we bring it closer to that work path, it changes. It's kind of like an I shape here. We get it near that work path, it becomes an I shape with a little line through it, a curvy line. That means that's ready, it's on the path. All we have to do is click on it now, and we have our regular cursor, the blinking cursor, and we're ready to go ahead and type. That came out pretty good. You can go ahead and go into your character panel and adjust the leading on this if you like. For today, I'm just going to leave it exactly how it is. I might actually just maybe put a space in between these words just to make it a little bit more even. That's good enough for now. And that's all there is to it. Now you have a couple decisions to make. You can decide to keep that, get rid of that shape if you want and just have the type. You can resize it, which I like to do. I'll use my Control T shortcut and resize it. And click OK to commit that. I am distracted by the work path, so I'm done with it, so I can come over here and drag it to the trash. And now I have just this nice shape that if I want to do something with, I can. A lot of times I like to clip photographs to that shape, and here's one I did with this layout. I just clipped a photograph to it, I added some stitches around the edge, and I think that's really cute. I'd call it good and be done with it. But you can decide how you want to handle it in your own layout. They'll all be different. That's a nice effect too. And just be creative, have fun with it. And that's really all there is to it. Photoshop Elements users can write text as well. It's a little different process. We'll talk about that another day. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks. See you next week.